The kids played hard, just disappointed to lose, love to fight. But sorry we came up short. Questions? Good? Good.
Coach, you was talking about Xander today. It seemed to have a really much better first half. Second half wasn't there as much. Was it just him, I guess, being more comfortable?
They pressured good, pockets, setting your feet. He's late on the one play there at the end, but we're trying to double move on the one pick. But again, he's getting better. We still had a couple drops today. But again, those guys, you know, I mean, they get a lot of notoriety on offense and deservedly so. But their defense is a lot better. Gain on it. It was a tough fight. So some of it's just, you know, pretty good defense. I mean, they're 6th in the country for a reason. They're pretty good. And it's not going to be always easy. So, but he's standing in there. He's growing up. And the one play I picked, like I say, we were just trying to be a little greedy. Thought we needed a play. It's an 8-point game. 4 minutes to go. We kind of got him where we wanted to. I mean, you're 4 minutes in the shoot. It's 28-20. And you guys are more shocked than we were. That's a fact. And we were trying to make a play and we came up short. Which I like the kids. I mean, Xander's getting better. He's got a long way to go. He's getting better. Like I say, he's got a lot of moxie and fight. He's got some things to work with physically. We got to mature him mentally, but he's got some things. That's why we recruited him. We thought he'd be good. And he's battling, and I don't think people know how stressful it is to play that spot. And everybody's on you and bearing down and looking at you and the stress. And we put a lot on him. He's getting better, so I appreciate the way he plays. A lot of respect for him. He's going to be good for us.
Coach, early on it was 14-0. Is it a matter of just getting your legs under you and getting settled down to come back and go into halftime down 14-13?
I think the offense, you know, I think Xander's big scramble play that got us down and got us points, and then we were able to score to get it to 14-10. I think we had we were very fortunate that it was third down. They had us on schedule and nobody was open. And he ran around, made a play, and got us down, and we scored a touchdown to make it 14-7. I think we had a turnover from there and kicked a field goal to make it 14-10. And then from there, I think our guys relaxed. We talked about playing hard and having fun and not stressing on the game and having some fun playing. Great place to play, great team to play, and have some fun and go play the game. And for the most part, we did. I thought third quarter we stressed a little, pressed a little. As players and coaches, we got to work our way through that. But I just think early defensively, we just got misaligned and just jacked a couple, and nothing unusual, just their tempo and their plays and their multiple formations, and they're going from empty to spread and fly sweeps and good players, and we just misfit a couple. From there we settled down. I want to say they had, about 224 in the first quarter, I think. I remember looking at the scoreboard, I thought it said like 220. I mean, it didn't look good. And they had 245 at half. I don't know if it's first quarter, but I remember looking somewhere like, wow, that's a
You shut them out in the second quarter.
We had a nice little second quarter, got some turnover. I think at halftime we had no penalties. We made a nice kicking play where we downed it on the one. We had a nice kick return. And we had caused 3 turnovers. And that's why you're sitting there 14-13. And then second half, again, we had the turnover. They pinned us deep. They had the big punt return. That was the difference in the game.
Football coaches don't like to claim moral victories, but you've also talked a lot about, you know, progress and process. Do you feel like that was an advancement for the group?
I don't know if it's an advancement, David, but I just think initially, and I said this week, and I think the Columbus guys saw it, but the real deal with our team was not the injury to Sudfeld, but the injury to Covington took away 10 weeks of prep on him. And we were scrambling for a couple weeks to get Xander up to speed, and it wasn't his fault. We'd made a direction that we thought, you know, starting with about 1 week into preseason, we had 3 weeks. It was game 6 and open dates. So we had about 10 weeks, and all of a sudden then he was like it was a lot. And there's just not enough practice time with 20-hour rules and keeping legs fresh and all that. And I think we spent a couple weeks worried about him, and we just kind of tried to get back to not only him but us. And I thought from Penn State on, we've played a little bit more the second half of Rutgers, and there at the end, that fourth quarter, a couple plays got away, but we got back to playing hard and just fighting, and we're going to make some mistakes and whatever. And Ohio State's got as young a team as we do, so it's not about playing young guys. So that's an excuse to say so-and-so's a freshman, he's on scholarship, he's a D1 player, he's got to make plays. But at the same time, I just think we've had a couple lulls. Outside that, I think the way we practiced, carried ourselves, we've always had, to me, what I felt was a winning process, even our results have been short. And we just talk about maintaining process and getting on track with that. And like I said, I think if we do, it gives us a chance. I think you can see for 3 weeks we've been kind of competitive. Now, there's a point where you got to make a play, not turn it over, kick, play, defense, offense, put together in all 3 phases to win. And getting better and fighting hard is a part of it. There's a point, though, where you got to make those plays, and it's time we start doing that.
Coach, how valuable are these reps, especially for the young guys, and Xander, who has improved, playing in these tough environments like Michigan, going to Rutgers last week, and now playing at the Horseshoe. How important is this going into the future for valuable experience?
Well, a few years ago, like when Shane and Latimer and Coleman, those guys were young, they had that deal, and they were a little overwhelmed at first, but through time, so it's a part of it. At the same time, though, you got to get your program to the part where you got enough depth, enough players that you go through that and have success. So, I mean, that's nice, but that's why those kids came down. I hope that's why we're excited about the Big Ten East, because you're going to play great teams, great environments, and great opponents every week. You have a chance twice in your career to play some great venues when you play them on the road. So to me, that's a part of building the program that we sold the kids, playing great teams like this. And we embraced the challenge today. We wanted to have some fun with it and go play hard and cut it loose. And except for a couple sloppy things, it was fun. And we want to keep having fun, but we also want to have success and get those W's. Coming here and not getting the W's is more disappointing than anything else.
Antonio Allen had those 2 picks early. Essentially, this is his first full season. How's he just been holding up the last couple weeks?
Well, again, we've been in position. I think you can tell the last couple of weeks that now we've been in position, we're starting to make some of those plays on the ball. Mm-hmm. So there was a point in time where we were leading, or one of the top teams in the country in pass breakups and passes defended. So you're in position. Well, that being said, if you're a pass breakup guy, once in a while you can start getting the pick. So it was really good to see. And of course, they got a great offense and Barrett's a heck of a player. So to do it against speed, a good opponent on the road, shows some focus, and that's something to build on. It's good for Antonio and our defense.
Couple more, guys.
I think after that 90-yard run from Coleman, I think he sat out 1 or 2 series after that. Is it just sort of a thing you talked about in the past?
Yeah, he's just got that little stamina thing he's got where is what it is. So.
How are Spriggs went down, and I think Tim Bennett went down late in the game?
But they both came back and played. So it's kind of like it would be a little knockdown shoulder thing at the time of the year. So physically came out pretty well.
Last question, Dave.
D'Angelo's feeling better. He played just a little bit.
A little bit, but he missed the whole week. Now, he did our Friday prep work, and again, sometimes too, there's a little bit to us. I think as coaches, he's missing reps. I think he did some things in kicking, so you got some timing issues. But also too, I think is he really ready? So I think it's just a little bit with Coach McCullough and how he does it. So.